Bootcamp is about to begin. Rise up, it's time to log in. LP Army will teach you the way to be LP warrior starting today. We live for the fees we make. Soon it is profits that you will take. The LP Army marches strong. The best in soul, and now we sing our song. We live for the fees we make. Soon it is profits that you will take. The LP Army marches strong. The best in soul, and now we sing our song. We are LP Army, rise to the sky. Dynamic fees, our battle cry. LP warriors will never die. Thereof we will fly. Rise, new soldiers, rise. Rise, new soldiers, rise. Spot, copy, ask, use them all. Winning's the task, we heed the call. Bootcamp, join our ranks so tight. Listen to the Goose Gang and gain your might. We will print and we will earn. Ways to gain is tokens burn. Join the ranks of the brave and bold. Story of the LP Army told. We are LP Army, rise to the sky. Dynamic feast, our battle cry. LP warriors will never die. Thereof we will fly. Rise, new soldiers, rise. Rise. Take the course and earn your role. March with us and earn some soul. Dodge the rug and join the fight. We gain together LP Army might. Make your position and join the pool. Post your wings with Alex's tool. LP Army, we fight to win. Your journey is about to begin. We are LP Army, rise to the sky. Dynamic feast, our battle cry. LP warriors will never die. Thereof we will fly. Rise, new soldiers, rise. Take the course and earn your role. March with us and earn some soul. Dodge the rut and join the fight. We gain together LP Army might. Oh.
GMAT, welcome everybody to day 2 of Bootcamp number 15. I'm glad to have you guys here. We are going to go ahead and get this party started. So first, our disclaimer, I'm not a financial advisor. Any money you invest is your money, and you do so at your own risk. The TLDR here is NFA, DYOR, blah, blah, blah. This course is for educational purposes only. It will not grant you any airdrop, meta allocation, or NFT or anything like that. And we're going to move on. Purpose of this course is to become familiar with Meteora and its functions. We talked about this yesterday. It's not about the role or anything like that. This course is, as always, free. Of course, you'll need funds to complete graduation, but that's going to be LPing on your own. This education will always be free. You should never have to pay for it. And of course, be prepared to lose before you win. It takes practice to be successful. And structure introduction. We did this yesterday. This is me, Metal Cook, the Bootcamp moderator. Yeah, fun stuff. Other instructors today, we got Photon Magic joining us today to help out with questions in chat. Thank you, Photon, for joining me today. And to get most out of this course, feel free to ask your questions in the live chat. We'll do our best to answer all your questions in there. And if we need to speak about them, highlight them, we'll do that. Learn by doing, follow along. You must complete both days of this course to graduate. If you have the bootcamp trainee role, you completed day one from a previous bootcamp, you don't have to do the day one again, but you must pass both. You must have passed both days in order to fully graduate. And as always, I welcome your feedback. Feel free to share that with us in Discord. I'm going to show the link for the bootcamp resources here again. We showed this yesterday, but if you didn't get it yesterday, here it is. Feel free to take that and scan it, save it, more info there. Yeah. And there was a couple things that I meant to cover yesterday in day one. A couple minor things, but I'll show that to you here in just a moment. Give you guys a minute to scan that there. Okay. Notifications. I'm actually gonna show you guys that right now. We'll switch over here. Okay, groovy. All right, so here we are. The notifications. So we'll start with that. This little bell icon right here. If you click on that, you will of course have to sign a message with your wallet to see notifications. When you initially get to it, you'll see this here. You'll have, this is your wallet, notifications on. You can add your Telegram handle in here, add that, and it'll take you over to Telegram where you set it up. It's no big deal. You can also get notifications in your email. And whenever you have a notification, this little bell icon will show red. And it's just basically going to tell you when your position is out of range. If it's an unverified token, currently what it says, it'll say like unknown SOL or unknown USDC, whatever your pair is there, it'll say unknown if it's not a Jupiter verified token. If it is, it should show the name of that token. So like if you had SOL USDC, it would say SOL USDC out of range. It doesn't currently tell you which end it's out of range on, and it takes a minute to pop up, but it is something that you can configure to be notified when you are out of range on a DLMM position. The other things that I wanted to show you here, this little gear icon, you can change your preferred Explorer to any of these. SolScan is the default, but if you prefer Solana Beach, Solana Explorer, Solana FM, you can choose one of those here. And the RPC that you want to use, sometimes if there's, say, Solana congestion or, problem, you're having a problem getting things to load, you can always try changing your RPC. I like Helios, but any one of these should work. If you have your own RPC, you can definitely enter that there. If you pay for your own RPC, you can totally do that there. And then finally right here, this is for landing transactions on Meteora, the global priority fee. In here, you can set this to whatever you would like. If you're having trouble landing transactions, you can definitely change these things. You can do just a pure priority fee, which you're setting what you want here. You can go with the Jito bundle only if you'd like, or you can go with mixed. What I like to do to minimize how much I'm paying is I'll just go with priority fee and fast. But if you want to bump that up, you can try like mixed or changing one of these, whatever works for you, whatever's landing. Fee mode, also, you have max cap and exact fee. If you choose exact fee, you're going to pay that every time, no matter what it is. I would not recommend doing that, but you can totally go here, just set a max cap. So that's the most that you'll ever have to pay for a transaction. It's not, that's what it'll stop at. So if the transaction fee is going up and it's going to cost more than that, then it'll fail. So you can set it to whatever you want it to be. Right now mine is at 0.006, I like 4. But yeah, so those are the couple of things that I wanted to show you guys that I forgot to show you yesterday. Anyway, let's switch back to our presentation. All right, cool beans. Moving on. This is our agenda. We're going to show you some community-made tools and ways to find LPing opportunities, some very basic chart reading and LP strategies. We're going to demo and give you hands-on activities. And of course, we'll talk about the graduation tasks at the end. We'll cover DLMM and a little bit of the DAM V2 today. And of course, there will always be time for you to ask questions. So by the end of the day, you should be able to help identify scam tokens, likely rugs, that kind of thing. Again, basic chart reading, advanced strategies, how to use some of the community tools and on-chain stuff. And moving on. So to survive and thrive in LPing, you need to have a method. So, you know, you can always go with the fuck it strategy and just ape into stuff, but that's a great way to get wrecked. Have a method, figure out what works for you, what's your tolerant of risk is, and then, yeah, practice, you know, try different things, try different strategies, look at what other people are doing, but you got to practice this, test and learn, and collaborate with others in our communities. You will learn a lot from there. So yeah, move on here, and looks like Gosha has joined us in chat. Welcome, Gosha. Thank you for joining us today. Move on. So we're going to talk about some on-chain tools and all these things. These are all the things that you need to do to survive. Okay, so classic tool, rug check. You kind of need to look at rug check. Here's an old one right here, Hawkward. Looking at this one, looks dangerous, right? Top 10 holders, high ownership. Single holder ownership 91%. That's bad. You know, anything really above 25 or so, you need to be really suspicious of. Very low liquidity. Copycat token, there's a lot of people that like to copy other tokens, and they usually have nefarious things going on about them. So this may even tell you, like, if this token, you know, you won't be able to sell it. It would warn you here. So yeah. Let's see, someone asked, going back, why 0.006 max cap? You know, it's just like, that's the most that I'm willing to spend, really. And honestly, I like to do 0.004. I'll bump that up if I'm having trouble landing a transaction. That's just the most that I'm willing to spend on a transaction in Sol. So yeah, I don't want to get into a long discussion about this. Maybe Gosha or Photonic can answer that. It's not other chains. So Yeah. Anyway. Anyway, so always rug check your tokens before you get into it. Know what you're getting into. Watch the risk. Next is bubble maps. This is a visual representation of wallets here. So each bubble is a wallet, and the ones here in the different colors, they are tied together. There is action going on between them and may be bundled. You can see here this top wallet. This is the one that holds the most, 21%. This is radium, so that's actually a pool, probably where this wallet bond or this token bonded to. But you're seeing the distribution of others. What I like to look for is something where if you have a lot of these top wallets and it's all the same, like 2%, 2%, 2%, 2%, 2%, that's very sus, because that is could be bundled token. Somebody setting up for a rug. So yeah, be wary of big clusters. I'll show you more about bubble maps here in a little bit in a tool. Watch trading. So it's bots creating basically fake volume. And while you can earn fees off of fake volume, it's a high indicator of a rug, right? So it's like they do this to create action, make it look like this is a hot token, this is what people are trading, and when reality is doesn't have that much attention. It's just setting up for a rug. Usually it's usually on new tokens, but it can happen on older ones. And here's what it kind of looks like. You can see here this let me blow this up. You see the very even set of volume here, and then like right here there's nothing, and it's like that's when the bot was turned off and then it got turned back on, and you see this. So it's this very even like this. So watch out for wash trading, because those can rug on you pretty quick. So look out for those things right there. Okay, so now some community tools to help you find LP opportunities while you can go out and find things in the wild. Our community is great for doing this, and there's even bots within the LP Army Discord to help you find things, such as the Metlex terminal. Anytime a new pool is created, it's going to generate some information, and it'll even show you some of the red rug check info. Like here, this is showing you, this is all information from rug check right here. And you'll see whether or not it's a verified token, whether or not it's a freezable one or not. So green is good. The yellow sign with the exclamation point is bad. In the Discord, you'll see here these bots right here. That's what I'm talking about, the DLMM ops bot. So this runs and it just gives you some information about the top pools, the token, estimated fees over TVL, the volume trend, up or down, bin step, base fee, rug check. So this is kind of like the pools maybe that are running really well. And then of course, multi-day ops, so this is tokens that maybe, a lot of memes, they're very short-lived, right? Well, this, sometimes some tokens will have a little bit of life to them, and maybe you want to LP it for a little bit longer. So these can help you find opportunities to do that a little bit of time. And of course, in the command, you want to help know how to run the bot. Just use the help command in the channel for these, and it'll help you get there. All right, so in the community itself, you can see under DGen calls, or the DGen calls, the DLMM alpha, DGen DLMM. It's a great place. There's always activity in there. People talking about a fresh token. It's like, hey, here's a hot new token. And people will even make a separate thread about some of them where you can have a discussion about just that token. And again, just because someone posted something in there, don't assume that it's safe. Do your own diligence. Check it out before you get into something. Don't just ape into stuff, you know. And even sometimes the people who are constantly making good calls, you know, sometimes they made a call on something and it doesn't match your risk profile. You know, it's like that one looks a little sketchy to me, or right now is not the time to enter. Maybe it's dumping, you know. So do your own diligence, your own research on these things before you ape into stuff. Um, so yeah, but this is a great way to find opportunities. Another community tool, metlex.io. This is one of the greatest out there, in my opinion. It's linked in every single pool. And it does whole lot of things. And I'll actually demo that for you guys a little bit right now. Just pull this up. There we go. Okay, so metlex.io, we will see here that we have, we'll start off with the actually, let's start with the DLMM top 100. Okay, so top 100 DLMMs by today's fees. You can show things that are earning, you know, greater than 5% only, something that's greater than 1%, 2%, or you can get it to show you all. Filter by volume if you want to just see what's happening in the last 5 minutes. You can sort by that volume in the last 5 minutes, 1 hour, what have you. And of course, you can define a minimum liquidity. Like if you're not interested in tiny pools, you know, let's just say you want to look at something that's got at least $10,000 in there, you can do that. And you have a few more sort options here. But we're looking at this, and let's just look at this fart coin one here, right? So you see the amount of this earning in fees for today, 24-hour fees, how much TVL is in the specific pool, and then how much volume is coming through that pool in the last 24 hours. And this is good, right? So you have more volume than you have TVL. That's a good indicator. If something has less volume than TVL, maybe it's not so good unless it's like a stable. It'll tell you the bin step and the base fee, the market cap for the token. Over here, you'll see the price changes of the last 5 minutes, 1 hour, 6 hours, 24 hours, and the transactions for each of those. So green is buys, red is sells. So that gives you kind of like an idea of what's the trend for that token. Like, is this thing pumping? Is it dumping? You know, that's some information for you there. Of course, you've got buttons here that'll take you straight to the GMGN chart or to the 8 Pro charts for either token. If you want to swap, there's a handy button there for Jupiter. And if you just like, hey, this is a great pool, let's party, it'll take you straight into that said pool right there. Bam, you're in. Okay. So this is a way that you can help find yourself some opportunities. Now we're going to check out the magical tab. This is a great place to find opportunities as well. So you can define a minimum bin step. It's going to default 20 just for fun. Let's say 100. Max bin step, we'll just say 400. Minimum base fee, let's go with 1%. And then here, you can choose if it's on the Jupiter strict list, you uncheck that. If you only want to see what's on the strict list, or unknown tokens, choose all rugs, hit the rocket, and it's going to load here for you. And you've got some sorting options here, 5 minutes, 1 hour, and so on and so forth. Let's see, let's go with 400 pixels. It'll show more on the screen at a time. It's going to load for me. There we go. So this is cool. This has got the chart built right in to this. A little bit less information than the previous screen, but you do still see the market cap, the 24-hour volume, 5-minute, and so on, and the percentage there. So this is real handy. You know, if you see a chart that looks good for you, you know, if you want to see the chart right off the bat without having to go link into it, there it is. Today's fees, and of course a button, you know, LFG, let's fucking go, you know, let's rock into that one. Like launch coin right here, maybe it's on a pump. I want to get into that one. You can just click on it and it'll take you right into it. A lot of fun stuff there. Okay. Let's see. Now here under Dex Legend, you would have to enter a token address for something. Now I'm just going to grab the CA here for Fartcoin. I'm just doing the 1 token. And now it's going to show me all the pools across all dexes for this particular token, Fartcoin. So you see here's a Radium pool, an Orca pool, the Meteora DLMM pool, and these are sorted in order. You know, so you can, if you want to get a look at the entire market, this is the place where you can go and see where's the action, which pool maybe is performing better or getting more of the volume. You can look at these things. You can actually create a pool for a token right here. Just click, that'll take you straight there. And of course, you have some safety stuff such as bubble maps, rug check, Jupiter, and so on and so forth. I'm going to show you more about bubble maps here in a little bit, but this is the wonderful Dex one here. Degen pools. We're going to filter by Fartcoin, and this is just showing me everything on Meteora. It's just another way to look at this information. These are different pools. Like here, it's showing me the 10 bin step 0.1 base fee, what the current dynamic fee is on that. And here are links directly to go to the pool, some charts, rug checks, way to snipe a token, although you're not going to be sniping Fartcoin. But, you know, this is just showing you all the pools on Meteora for it. And there are a lot of pools on Meteora for this. Okay. The next thing that I'm going to show you on Metlex is wallet. And what this is for, you'll actually paste a wallet address in here. And maybe I'm not doing, you don't have any DLMM. This is just for the DLMM. So let me pull up a different wallet for this. I don't think this wallet has some in there. Okay. So here I've got 3 different ones, and you'll see I've got one position here. I can see what it's doing right here. I'm in range, prices, fees, all that stuff. If you've got multiple positions, you can look at all of them. You know, it'll tell you if it's out of range or not. It's just a way for you to look at all your pools or in one place for the DLMM. The fees tab, we're not going to run it, but you put your wallet address in here or a DLMM that's in beta. if you just want to look at the fees that you've earned on a specific pool, or you can look at your entire wallet, which that will take time to run. You paste that in there and run it, and it'll tell you all about the fees that you've earned over all time. One of the most used tools right here is the P&L. You can put your opening transaction or your closing transaction for a DLM position. You put that in here and you run it, and it'll generate one of the P&L cards, tell you what's going on with that. New is a one for the DAM V2. So you would paste that transaction into there and it would give you a P&L card just for that. So you've probably seen these things out there, people talking about their P&L. That's that there. And then finally, we have the trenches tool. So the Metlex trenches, you can see what's going on. Top 500, 24-hour volume, 24-hour fees. You can get an idea. These are like Jupiter's little score on these particular tokens. So I would watch out for anything that's not got a high score. But if you expand this, it's giving you some information, like say from rug check and other stuff like, this is okay, not so okay. It'll give you a volume analysis on this and even some insight. So like this particular one, the data shows cumulative trading over different time periods. The volume trend shows increasing activity over time. And then over here, the LP performance estimated APY is exceptional. Good opportunity, good fee generation on that. It's giving you a ton of information. It's really cool. Tell you more about the fees, rates, and of course you can also load the chart. Probably takes a minute. Yep, there we go. We load the chart for it. So this is a really cool tool that it's giving you a lot of information. It's giving you some of the safety stuff. It gives you an idea of, you know, whether this is a good opportunity or maybe not so good opportunity. Like here, Zeus Neon, this is a mean pair, mutable metadata, mint authority, top 10 holders. Like this looks like danger. And this one's telling you consider the risk reward with this. This could be a total rug. So this is just another great tool for you to use. So yeah, let's go back to our presentation. All right. Go. All right, so moving on. So now we're going to talk about reading charts here. You need to understand volume and market cap. We talked about that a little bit yesterday. You know, is the token on the way up, down? Will it range? You know, you need to be able to select a range to LP and choose the right pool based on those factors. There's a lot of pools out there, and some of them are good and some of them are not so good. Because again, anybody can create a pool, right? So you're wanting to look at these things to discover what's the best performing for you, and also within what's in your risk tolerance. If it's a small bin step, it may be something that you want to monitor, especially on memes. Some people, if you're wanting to set something up and not watch it so much, you may want to go with a higher bin step, but it may or may not perform for you quite as well. And of course, we'll show you more about this in a bit. There's just more information, like on GMGN, for example, you know, 1 minute chart is telling you, like here, net buy, it's actually a negative. So that means there's 15K more in sells than buys within that 1 minute. A little bit of safety information. The top 10, for example, on this particular token, it's on 71%. That's, probably something sketchy and you may not want to get into. But now we're going to talk about some technical and analysis indicators to help you do that. And we'll actually demo that here in a minute. The MACD indicator is a popular one that I like to use. Showing you the trend signals, so you can see here, like you've got the blue line and the orange line, and whenever there's a reversal, they'll crisscross. So you can see, like right here, we had a reversal. The token started pumping, so that blue line went above the orange line, right? And it's showing you that. Here, the green and the red, it's just showing you whenever it's pumping or when it's dumping, and the height of these things showing you how much it's going up or down. The dark red means the trend is down. Whenever it starts to turn light, you can see that maybe the sells are slowing down and maybe it's going to go back up a little bit. So that's a great one that I actually like to use. The RSI indicator is another real cool one. It's very simple, actually. Anything that's above 70, the token is overbought, which means that it may be time for that to have a reversal and be sold. So if it's above that line, it may be overbought. And if it dips below the line at 30, then the token may be oversold and it may be looking at going for a reversal. Now, neither of those two things are guaranteed, but it's an indicator for you that you can look at. And I'm actually going to show you some of these here. Let's go to this next one here. The Heikin-Ashi candles. I like this one because you can see here. So here's the standard candle chart, right? You've got pump and dump with the wicks on it, right? The Heikin-Ashi kind of gives you a better picture of what's the trend. So these charts look very similar, but they're not exactly the same. This is an uptrend right here. So it kind of cuts off some of the wicks on that, just to show you the trend here is more up. And same with the red. If you're not seeing a bunch of wicks, then that trend is down. So here it's this is a nice little pretty pump, and this is a nasty little dump. So that, while itself is not, that's like a change on the candles. We'll show that too there. Now you have the volume profile visible range, and this is really, really cool. It's displaying the traded volume across price levels with a visible chart range. So what this is showing you is within a particular amount of time, this is an indicator of the volume for the token, buys and sells. So you may want to use this to say, okay, like right here, this is where the price action is happening. Okay, so I want to set my range between here and here. There's not a whole lot going on up here or down here. So I don't want to put my liquidity there. I want to have it here where the volume is happening, because that's how you generate your fees, right? So I think actually I'm going to demo that right now. Okay. So let's just crank up GMGN. Okay. Let's pull out a token here. Actually, let's just look at the Fart coin. Okay. So we see here, I've got my Hikanashi candles showing up. Let me zoom in a little bit. Maybe that'll help. You can see here the downtrend. Not too many wicks on that, so that meant it's kind of going down. Here on my MACD chart, you can see where the lines crisscrossed. There. So downtrend, up, down, following that. And of course, here the RSI, you can see a lot of points where it was overbought and it went back down. And then it's kind of like ranging nicely here. And here we have a nice, pretty little range where all the volume is happening. Now, of course, I'm looking at a 15-second chart here. If you change the time, then of course it's going to change how each of these things look. So this token right now, Fart coin, it looked like it was overbought, and then it kind of came down into a correction, but it's towing this line. There's a lot of pump going on this right now. So there's some price action there. Let's see. What do we want to use here on this chart? Where is it? Oh, what I want. Price range. So let me switch this into, all right, we're in Sol. Don't do that. Okay, so right here, if I was to say I wanted to set up a bid ask, I may want to look at the volume here and go here to about right there. So I can see here what range I want. Negative, looks like negative 1.85% from this current price right here of 0.0082. So that's maybe where you want to set up your position. You know, you could set it up in a spot or a bid ask, whatever, or even go two-sided here, because it does look like it's wanting to trend back up. Of course, you can also look at the 5-minute chart. 5-minute chart kind of tells a different story here. A lot of the action was happening there, but of course, as time goes on, these things will change as it goes. I hope all that's making sense for you guys. Not too many questions so far. But that's how you may want to define a range using some of these charting tools. Right now, you see, according to the RSI, this is pumped way above the 70. So it may be looking to dump at any minute. Don't know. It could keep going, though. But there was a lot of action here a little while ago. So that's kind of like the very basics. We don't get too deep into TA. For a lot of your meme coins, there's not a whole lot of TA that you can do on a token. When they're brand new, you just kind of look at what's the trend here. Let me just switch wallets to something else here. Some things that I wanted to show you here with the bubble maps, right? So here's a chart, and on GMGN down here, we have bubble maps, this little button right here, built into GMGN, the bubble maps. While we wait for load, we can see what's going on. So we've got some clusters here. It looks like there's a stack of wallets all tied together. Here you've got your top holding wallet. They are holding 32% of the token. That may not be so good. We see a few other bundles here going on. Let's look at this one already rugged pretty hard. Look at the holder bubble on it. Yeah, so a little cluster here. Somebody holding quite a bit of the token. Let me go back to a different wallet. I have some other stuff saved on. Some of this stuff is old. All right, what I'm trying to do is show you guys some like things that look good and things that look bad. This one is like it's 96% that could be the pool, but that's not very pretty. I don't like that. Let's find another one. Okay, so here, this is a real nasty bundle. A lot going on here. I would stay away from this token. This one here is telling you the radium. So this is the radium pool. It's only 16.99%, but that is the pool. It's probably where it bonded to. So that's not so much a concern, but this over here is. I would be very concerned about that particular one. Look at a different token. Show you what a nice, pretty one looks like. Okay. 14%. A little bit of a cluster, but not too much. This is really not too bad. It's not the worst thing that you could do. Where'd that go? Pig moon. I wonder if we look at this one or not. Okay, that danger, stay away from that. That's a nasty bundle right there. Okay. Yeah, a little bit going on here. Radium market, some bundling going on here. Anyway, I think we've made our point there with that. Other great things here with GMGN, and you could really spend all day in GMGN going over all the various things about it. But let me just show you some other important points that I like to look at. So right here, we were talking about you've got 1 minute, 5 minute, 1 hour, 24 hours, and it's showing you the, pump or dump for each amount of those time frames. The net buy in the 1 minute is plus $49. If it's pretty close to zero, then it's about flat. This may be an indicator to you, like if that starts going big time negative, then that it may be time for you to get out. You have to assess for yourself what's going on, but it gives you an indicator of whether it's going up or down. This one is not being traded too much right here because in 1 minute there's been three buys and 1 sell. If we look at the 5 minute, there's no volume on this token like at all, really. You'll be able to see the market cap here. This is a very small one at 44,573 holders, what have you. More safety stuff at the top. No mint, blacklist, no, burnt 100%. The top 10 are holding 24% of that, so that's okay. Down here you see the activity, the buys and sells. You can see liquidity where people are adding to the pools. Looks like this one is probably people were hitting this on the damn V2. You take a look at the holders and it lists by the top. If you have a position in this token, it will show you. I did a small position on this one earlier and it was not a win, but it'll show you like this is where you maybe where you bought, and then again where you sold and where you put the liquidity in. This is one I actually did on a damn V2 position in the beginning. And this is handy for me because, you know, the price can change really quickly on those. So I can see just how much I bought to begin with, and then I can kind of calculate my own P&L at the end, or at least see like how it's going. Am I up? Am I down? Am I am I in profit or am I in a loss? Of course, that doesn't account for any fees, but yeah. Again, we could spend all day here on GMGN, but we can't. So this is where we're gonna move on to the next thing. Okay, so I see a question in chat. Let me just pull this back up and I'll show it to you. Okay. So the sell side is yellow. So those are your sells, and the blues are buys. So you can just kind of see here, like at this bottom one right here, there was more buys than sells, still more buys than sells. Right here, you see selling a little bit of a sell off, more sells. So you can get an indicator of whether it's buying or being sold. I hope that answered your question for you there, sir. And this question, I can address this one right here. So many pools get volume on a coin like Fart Coin? It seems like all the volume would go to the best pool, unless maybe there was just so much volume it had to use a different one. So Jupiter is always going to give the swapper the best price, okay? And what happens there is there's like, I think I heard 9 different factors where it's selecting which pool to go through. But at its core, it's the best price for the swapper. Now, what moves the price in any pool is swaps going through that pool. And if you were to look at a list of all the pools for a specific token, you would see slightly different prices for each one of them, right? And it requires swaps to go through there to do it. And so what will happen is, say pool A has the best price, it's got a low fee, it's got plenty of liquidity to accommodate the trades, all these things. So it's running through there, okay? And the token is pumping, so the price of that pool is going up. You've got pool B, which maybe it doesn't have the best fee on it, right? But eventually the price is diverging enough from that where that higher fee, even though you've got a higher fee, you have a better price now because the price is lower. It hasn't moved. So the swap will go there, right? As long as there's liquidity to accommodate the trade. This is also called arbitration. So when you have that it's going to select these other pools for that. So yeah. Here, can you have every chart come up with these indicators, or you have to manually do it on each chart? No. Yeah, you can just favorite it, and I'll even show that for you guys. Go here. So here I am on Gork.com, whatever that is. And I didn't show you guys. This is where you find your indicators, the little FX right here. You can type in whatever you want. If you like, say you like the Ichimoku cloud, you find that and you can favorite it and you can set that up, right? You set that on here. And here I'm going to hide some of my other charts just so this is not so cluttered. There, hide the RSI. So here's just another wild, goofy charting tool. Okay, hide this one too. I'm not endorsing this. This is just an example, right? So I've set this up for this particular one, and I'm just going to click on another random token, RSC, and it's showing you that one. I'm going to click on a different one, Roam Coin. It's showing me that one. I'm going to turn off Ichimoku Cloud, actually, because it is hard to understand. I'm going to turn on the other ones. Okay, so I've got that. You pick a token, and it's going to keep those settings for you. To change your candles, you can, where did I select that? Hikanashi. Right here. There we go. Hikanashi. So it's basically whatever you set it to, it's going to stick to that. If you sign in to GMGN with your wallet, it will remember, your favorites. And also show you where you have buys and sells on a particular token. Let's see here. Markers. All. Let's not show all. Let's show dev and the KOLs and the snipers. Okay. This is another cool thing. So you can see where people bought and sold the token. Say I just want to see what the dev did. And so you can see the buys and sells from the dev on this particular token. So there's a lot of things that you can do and show here. This is where it migrated, this blue M. This is where this token migrated and actually bonded to, I don't know, probably pump. It looks like it's a pump fund token. So that's where it actually bonded. So let's see. I think I answered that question well enough. So let's go back to our presentation. Okay, so now we talk a little bit more about advanced strategies. There's one-sided, you can combination curve, strategies for long-term or chill or short-term. Here is a classic one-sided soul position. Actually, this was a very long time ago, as you could tell, because it's white and not the dark. But I set up, actually, this was a stack strategy. I put in a small layer of spot here, and then I did the rest in a bid ask. And just set that up. So I didn't want to buy the token. I just wanted to go with a one-sided sold. And it's a classic strategy a lot of degens use for meme coins. As I earned fees on this particular token, I would claim the fees, and then I would put it back into the position, and I put it back into, as you can see, a bid ask. So that way, ideally, if the token pumps, I'm going to sell my fees for higher and higher prices. And you can do that just right in the position. You just open the position and move the indicator, the price point, to leave some empty space above the current price. Here's the toothpaste tube strategy by Geek Lad. Again, a layer of spot and a kind of a bid ask here. It's just kind of like his idea. He called it that because you're like squeezing the toothpaste out of the tube. But the concept is really the same. You're selling more of the token at higher prices. But if the token comes down here, you're still getting a little bit in fees because you've got a spot position there. The bid ask chill by Mario. This was a USDC sold position that he set up, It's pretty wide. He did like 116 to 132. And he just like set this up overnight, let it swing back and forth. As long as it stays within this range, is to chill and not monitor that position. So it's kind of like different strategies here. There's a lot more out there. We're going to get into, this one is fun. I like making art with the DLMM. But there is actually a point to some of this. For example, the sinking sailboat, I was doing what we like to call the top curve blast. So a token is like its initial pumping is up at the top there, and it's curved way up. And you focus your liquidity, and I did one-sided liquidity there at the very top of Sol, just capture all that volume up there. And this is very risky, guys. But then I had some of the token from fees, and I bought a little bit because it looks like it was pumping, and I put that in as a bid ask. So while this was making nice little art, there was a method, a point to this. I'll get my stupid camera to stop doing this. Zoom in so much on me. Zoom out, please. Stupid camera. I made the cowboy hat. That was I was curving, and then I said, you know what? I want to add some bid ask here to, sell more of the token at a higher price or buy more of it at lower prices. So I did this monstrosity and made the cowboy hat. And so, yeah, some of this is just called fuck around and find out. And yeah, but you can make fun art with this. Not necessarily like legit strategies, but there was a method to my madness for doing each one of those. But here's the classic. The bid ask flip. And this one, I just love this. UN put this out a long time ago. Here's his strategy for DLMMing. Do this when price dumping. So he just did a one-sided Sol bid ask. And then do this when price pumping. He withdrew, turned around, put just the shitcoin in a one-sided bid ask. That's it. That's all he did. So that was a lot of fun. Okay, cool. Camera reset. Nice. But with here's a example on the chart, if you will. So you're looking at this chart for Billy, this token. You look right up here at the top, and it looked like, okay, think this is going to go down. So he put in a one-sided bid ask, just Sol. And you can see that indicated by this blue area right here. He set an area where he thought that it might bottom out. It got down to there. He had all his Sol was turned into Billy. So he withdrew, redeposited that back into a bid ask. He didn't close the position, just within the same position. He put that money back in, and over time, the token pumped up. It reached here, turned all back into Sol. Now he's in profit, close, withdraw, and you post your win. That is the bid ask. It's a tried and true method. It works. I encourage you to try that one. It really does. It works really well. But again, if you are wanting to mix it up with layers of spot or do something else, feel free to do that. Okay. So now we're going to talk about how to deal with impermanent loss, right? This is the thing that every LPer is fighting. What do you do when you're out of you have impermanent loss, or basically you're out of range? Number one, simply wait. Patience. Have Zen. If you think the token price will rise back into your range soon, don't do anything. Just wait. Go eat a protein bar or something. Go for a run. You can open a one-sided bid ask at a lower price range. hoping to capture enough fees to offset those losses. So like here's an example. I've got these 4 positions. I'm out of range. And so what I did was I created another one, a bid ask, and set that up to try and capture those fees as it's going down. The idea there, the concept, is that when the token is going down, that it's going to earn enough fees to offset my losses from the previous position. It's not guaranteed to happen for you, but if there's enough volume and enough volatility there, it can totally offset those losses for you and even put you into profit. So this is something that's important to remember. You can still win even whenever a token dumps. Now, it's not guaranteed, but you can recover enough in fees to offset your losses. The next thing that you could do, of course, is you could just take that loss and reposition the liquidity altogether. And I have done that myself. Maybe you got in at the peak, right? You were LPing and you did it at the top. And then the token dumped down on you and it started ranging in a lower range. Feels bad, but you're not earning up any fees. And so you think, I don't think this will all-time high again. You can accept those losses and then put that token down in a lower range and try and earn enough fees in that range to recover your losses. And then finally, you can also just give up. You can quit. If a token, it looks like the dev rugged, this thing is running to zero, there is no hope, you can always get out. If you're down 50%, it's better to have a 50% loss than say a 90% loss, right? So you need to make a decision for yourself, look at the chart, decide, is this thing only going to run to zero? Do I need to get out now to minimize my losses, right? Would you rather lose 1 soul or 5 soul? Make a decision and do that. So yeah, these are just different things that you can do in these cases. Okay, so now you've earned fees, right? You've been MLPing, you've earned some money. What do you do? This is the fun part. What do you do with those fees? Well, like I talked about earlier, you can claim those fees and you can just compound them back into the position, right? Just the one token that you don't want to keep, like this one right here, Ron, whatever that was. I claim these fees and I put it here. I'm not going to add my soul back in. I want to keep my soul. So I just compound it right back into the position. Another thing that you can do is you can open a new position at a higher price range. So I've done this plenty of times before is, hey, I think this thing's got potential to pump. I'm going to take these fees. I'm going to put it at a higher price, like in a bid ask. It's kind of like your moon bag, if you will, right? You think it's going to go, put it in there, and hopefully it gets into range and, you just make even more than if you had just sold. Another thing that I like to do, it's like, I'm really not sure what this thing is going to do. It might just go down and only down from here. Sometimes I'll claim that and I'll just sell the token at that price, locking in that profit. Maybe I'm selling something for, 0.2 soul instead of just hanging on to it. And then it's only worth 0.05 soul later. So I'm going to lock in that profit now by selling immediately as I claim. And then, of course, you can just simply hodl, right? You think it's going to moon and you want to hold, you can just hold it and just trade it later. And of course, you can always do, I'm going to sell half of it now. I'm going to hold half of it for a moon bag, or I'll just put part of it into a bid ask to sell later. There's a lot of different things that you can do with this, and it's kind of up to you what you want to do. Okay, So now let's get to some LPing. I'm sure you guys love hearing me talk and show you that stuff, but let's do some actual LP here. All right. Okay. Freeze it. Share screen. Window. All right. So let's go out here to Metlex and find something to LP with. Okay. So let's see. 30-minute fees, IBRL. Let's take a look at this one. See what it says. The APR is not that high. Maybe I don't want that one. What's going on with this one? Not that high either. Let's go and look at the pairs out there on Metlex. Let's go with the top 100. Show me what's really earning. Filter by the volume. And let's show me things that have $15,000. Sort by volume, 5 minutes. Oh, there's only one. Duna. It looks like it's not having a whole lot of fun right now. So I'm going to turn off that filter. Let's go. Dizzy. Not too much happening on it. Shitcoin Soul. There's not much happening, guys. So let's reset some of these. Weekends can be tough. All right. Let's see what Moonpig is all about here. Bin step 100, base fee 2%. Let's go take a look at this token. All right, so $500,000 into Moonpig. There is no dynamic fee, so it's not very volatile right now. But let's take a look at the chart. Okay. So looking at the 1 minute chart, got some ranged a bit here, got a dump, pump. Looks like maybe it's ranging a little bit. It's a little bit on the downside. So let's go and look at the bubble map real quick. All right. This is a nice little distribution going on here. I'm not too worried about that. Small little cluster. I think bubble maps looks pretty nice here. I'm going to come here and do a real fast rug check. Risk analysis good. 59% of this token, the liquidity is locked, so that's nice. So I think what I want to do is I want to set a range. I want to set my range. Probably I'm going to go down about that much, say 10%. So we're at 0031 and 0028. So go here. I'm going to go one-sided. I'm just going to put in a little bit, and you guys feel free to follow along if you'd like. Just going to go a pure bid ask. Let's set this to the negative 10% that I talked about. And didn't do what I wanted. Okay. Only 16 bins. That's not very, we're not leaving a whole lot of room. But we're going degen today. So I'm going to add some liquidity and approve. And you see it as I was setting that up, that price moved. I could have reset that, but I don't mind because it left me a little space. If I get some fees here, I can just compound it right into the position and let it do its thing. So now I have a position open here on Moonpig. Let's see what else is going on. What's hot? Lift looks like it's not doing well. Let's look at our magical tab and see what's going on. In bin step, we're going to go with 100, max 400, minimum base fee 1%. Show me, rug me, baby. King Soul. Load. Let's see. Okay. Let's see an RSI on this. Looks like it was oversold there for a bit. It's on its way back up. Let's load this pool. Get a better look at it. Tiny bit of dynamic fee. Anything that's got, something that's more than double, triple the base fee. There's a lot of volatility there, and that's a beautiful thing. It is the weekend, and for the United States, like tomorrow is a holiday, so there's probably a whole lot of people not trading right now. This thing is definitely down on a downtrend. This may not be so good, but as I said before, LP, you can still make money on the bottom. So let's see what's going on. And there is just not any trading going on here. Okay. I don't like that one. I'm not going to do that one. Gibbs Soul. So let's check this one out. Okay. I'm gonna bubble map it. That looks okay. Let's look at the volume profile visible range. Okay. Let's do some drawing on the chart here for our price range. Now there's a lot of action that happened way up here, and I'm not so sure it's going to peak there again. We'll be optimistic maybe and set something up about right here. We didn't USD or SOL. All right, let's try that again. Okay, click. So 7.4 and 6.4. And for giggles, I'm going to buy a little bit of this token. Just 0.1. Swap for it on Jupiter. Close. Now we're going to add some liquidity. And then I'm going to put in half and half of it. And what did we say on the chart here? 7.4 and 6.4. So max price 7.4. And then down here 6.4. All right, so this is a pretty tight range. I could do this. I'm trying to focus and maximize. If I think it's going to range here, I can set this up. Now, this is definitely a position that you want to monitor this, no doubt, right? You want to keep an eye on this, especially if you go tight with it. I'm going to put the rest back in here into bid asks. There we go. Alternatively, I could have gone much wider on this. Could have gone a whole lot wider on it. Just go full range. If you're not wanting to go play through all of this, you can just slap it in there in full 69 bins. Go for it. Do the whole thing. And right now, this is not cooking very much. But here's something handy that you can do. Maybe this pool's not the best one. Up here at the top, Gibsol, you can click on that. And it's going to show me all the pools for that particular pair. And we can see what else is going on. It looks like somebody has set up a 1% pool on this. And someone has also set up a 0.2% pool. It may be doing okay here with $60,000 and 824. Maybe this is the place to be. So let's go get it. So I'm getting nothing happening here. Let's withdraw and close. Now that may sound crazy to do. You're moving from 2% to 0.2%, but a high fee doesn't do you any good if you are not getting any action out of it. So here, looking back at the chart, we talked about 6.4 and 7.4. That's pretty small. I don't think I want to go that small here. So I'm going to reset the price on that. And oh, yeah, let's go back and do it. Fuck it. I'm going to go to 75. 6.4. Oops. Stop it. Okay. Add some liquidity. Approve. Ask. Here we go. Now, if I wanted to, I could add me a second position now and just a pure soul bid ask. If I thought that there's potential for it to dump, I could set that up now, or you could wait until it gets out of range and do that there. Pop over here and see if we have any questions. There are no questions. Either no one is listening to me or I'm covering this so extremely well it makes sense for everybody. Okay, we're actually getting trades on this. So I love this perfect example. Like before, it wasn't doing anything, but now it is. Now we're not earning that much because my deposit isn't very big, but we are getting some trades here. You see, we started here, and now it's already moved to here. Looking at our chart, it's going down a little bit. We see here the 1 minute, a little bit down, net buys, what have you. So let's go and look and see. We've got over 7,000 holders on that. That's a lot of people holding. Let's look here, activity. You can look at KOLs, see what the KOLs are doing if you care about those. You can see what the sell whales are doing if you care about what they're doing. Of course, fresh wallets. There's over 999 fresh wallets out there. See what the snipers did. They had all their fun 3 days ago on this token. The top 10 looks like a lot of them are starting to sell. Insiders sell, bundlers, what have you. So this may or may not have been the wisest one to get into, but we needed to LP something. So we'll see what happens on it. I'm going to go to portfolio and see what's going on here. Not a whole lot of fees going on with these, but that is how you do that. Okay. So we need to move on to the next thing. Okay, dynamic pools V2. Cool. A lot of people want to hear about that. We've got a lot of people making some really incredible wins out here with the damn V2. Some examples, right? And this one is just absolutely ridiculous. $7 position, they earn $1,000 in fees, and that's all sold fees. That's really insane. This is a new product. The name of the game of this one, when you're doing with memes, is you got to be fast. You got to get in there early. You got to be quick. You got to be paying attention. You got to move, right? Some things you're just like, fuck it, let's ape it. And where a lot of this you'll hear about is right here in the LP Army Discord, the GGen DAM channel. If you're sitting in there, there are people posting stuff all day. Guys like Mythical Potato, he posts a lot of them. There's a lot of other DGens in there popping stuff off. Now, again, just because someone posted something doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to work. Even one of these guys, they'll post something, they think maybe it'll go, but it's not guaranteed. You're trying to capture that sniper in the MIV bot volume because those things start out at 50% fees. Mythical Potato, he did a thing on X. You really want to follow these guys out on X. And there's more. This is just 2 examples of people who are really doing stuff, but they're actually making content about finding tokens to LP on the damn V2, their approach, how they're doing it. Mythical Potato, he's using Juke Pro. He's looking at the top traded 5-minute time frame and the percentage trade. And I'll show you this here in a second. Setsmonk is using Axiom, and he's setting up these filters right here. Again, he details all of this out on X. But let me show you the guys this real quick, what this looks like. Okay. We'll start with Juke Pro. So what he's doing is he's setting 5 minutes right here. And then he's going to, or we're already at the top traded one, right? Top traded 5 minutes. And then he's setting this right here. See what's coming in, what's pumping basically. If you want to see what's dumping, you just flip it. Don't get confused with the price one. It's two things in the same column. So this is just a live thing of the last 5 minutes. Let's see what's rocking. This one, 4 minutes, 7 hours old. Let's see. Where's it going? Stop it. Yeah, I clicked on the wrong one. Go back. 5 minutes. Price. Okay, Bob. You got to be quick on these things. I clicked the wrong one. But again, you can see pump. Now it's in a dump. I don't think I want that one. Bob. Give me Bob. Okay. Some action going on this one. This is where you find it, and you would go and create a pool basically based off of this. Now, I don't know, this one may be not at the right time to do it, but this is where he's finding things that are like pumping. He'll take this and go analyze this out on GMGN, because here you'll get a better idea of what's going on. See if you see any red flags with the holders, you know, and all that various information about, you know, which one is you want to ape into. So that's what he's doing there with that. Let's go with Axiom. Yeah, so the do this to me. Stop it. Let me switch browsers here. Okay. Okay. So this is what SetsMonks is using, axiom.trade/pulse. He's going to pulse right here. And then he's setting up his filters where he comes into each one of these things and he's doing only launch a coin. So he's looking at these things and seeing what's hot, what's, you know, looking good. These are brand new pairs, things that are about to bond or migrate to, and then here's things that have recently migrated. So this is what he's using to find these. Again, I recommend, you know, checking out their X profiles, looking at what they're doing. There's other guys talking about what they're doing in the DAM V2 or the DGen DAM chat. Sorry. But yeah, that's how they're picking these things. And it's a crapshoot. There's other guys doing a lot of the same things. Magica, he's making some good calls, and a bunch of other people. So give them a check out. So gonna move on now. The LP Fund for Fun Vercel app. This is a community tool that you can use to help monitor your positions. It'll give you a live P&L on your positions. But one thing that it does different than Metlex is that it'll give you that information either in SOL or in the meme token. It's not telling you what it is in USDC, which that's what it is. So if you use this tool to see how you're doing, say for the graduation task that I'm going to show you here in a little while, keep in mind your ROI, that percentage can be different because it's showing it to you, say, in SOL and not necessarily USDC. But it's a good tool. It can give you a lot of analysis and whatever. I do recommend it. Check it out. Go do that. And I forgot to mention here on the DAM V2, I know I didn't go into a lot of depth in it. I showed you guys a little bit of information about it yesterday, how it looks. Told you a little bit today about how some of the top guys who are really earning on it are finding tokens. Please keep in mind, this is a brand new tech. We're still figuring a lot of these things out. We are going to put together an advanced boot camp in the near future, strictly on the DAM V2. So we'll get some good instructors and people and a lot more information and put that out for you guys. Today was just a high level. Next, the profit analysis tool by Geek Lab. This is also just like Metlex. It's linked to in every single pool. It is a really good tool to see what your profit is looking like. You can track it over time. You can filter by certain tokens. You can do just time. You can download the information. It'll tell you your estimated DLMM points, Met points that you've earned. Again, that's an estimate. But you can see that it'll show you, like here in SOL or whatever that token is, it'll show you the profit over time, what it's doing, and you can filter by dates, whatever. There's a lot of guys, and if you remember, I talked about in the beginning, monitor what you're doing, measure your success. I mean, some people just say, do I have more SOL than I did at the beginning of the week? But you can get a little bit better at it by using this. See exactly, okay, I earned this much SOL, or I lost this much SOL, or earned this much in USDC, or whatever. This is a really great tool. You just drop your wallet address in there and click go, and then you've got a lot of options that you can click on and do. So yeah, that's a great tool for you guys to check out. So here we are. This is the QR code. You want to scan this now. You can use Google Lens if you're on your PC, or scan it with your phone. Save it. We do not share these codes or these forms in our Discords because we want you to watch the video. We want you to attend the course. So we're not going to share it. View it here. If you missed it, if you didn't get it, you can always rewatch the video and get it there. But this is going to be open from 1 week. It will close at 11:59 p.m. UTC on June 1st. I won't be grading any forms from day 1 or day 2 until after the forms are closed. So don't ask. If you ask me in 2 days, where's my role, I'm going to know that you were not paying attention to me here right now. What you got to do is you have to open one. That's one. DLMM, new DLMM position as of today. If you opened it yesterday or 2 months ago, it's not going to count. We will reject it. So starting as of today, one position, and even if you did it 2 hours ago, that's okay. As of May 25th, the minimum $100 value in any assets. It could be $100 worth of SOL. It can be $100 worth of. You could have $50 of SOL and $50 fart coin. It doesn't really matter. It must add up to a value of $100. Now, that being said, if you are trying to do something where, like, say I want to do 20% spot and 80% bid ask on a position, well, and you're just trying to do $100 worth. Obviously, your initial deposit isn't going to equal $100. This is okay. What is important here is that if you get that deposit within the first couple minutes, I'll see that, and we'll count it. Let me get my camera reset here. Please stop doing this. I'm gonna throw this damn thing in the trash. There we go. Okay, so $100 doesn't matter if you go two-sided or single-sided. It's fine. It just needs to equal $100. If you wait half an hour to deposit enough to get you the $100, it's okay. I do also realize that, you know, sometimes the price of a token can drop, and if you're within, if you're like $97, that's fine. If you're below that, we're not going to count it. No stable pairs, USDC, USDT. I can't imagine that you would make it doing that pair either. SOL and LSTs do not count. So any liquid staking token and SOL pair will not count. Like Jupe SOL, M SOL, V SOL, Geodo SOL, LP Army SOL. You cannot do that one with SOL because it's basically a stable pair. The price of those two is pegged together. So we're not going to be doing that. You must go for at least 1 hour. Okay. So you must LP for a minimum of 1 hour. You must close the position. Okay. You can't just keep it open. You must close it. You must show at least 5% profit. And that's not just 5% fees. You must profit. So you have to overcome any impermanent losses and have at least 5% profit. We do not allow any third-party DLMM managers. You must raw dog the DLMM because we want you to fully understand this and show that you can profit using that before you go out and use something else that's going to manage your position for you. So we don't allow third-party tools with that. We have nothing against third-party tools, but we want you to graduate without it. And again, as I said once before, you must complete both days of this course. I don't know if there's any questions on the graduation tasks here, but I think I've left that up. If that's not clear, feel free to ask in chat in the Discord. Okay, so now, how do you find transactions? And I run into this, people ask questions, how do you find your opening and closing transactions? Well, SolScan makes it really easy for you. You drop a wallet address, you go to solscan.io, you drop your wallet address in the search. Click on the DeFi Activities tab. Then you can find here where you've done any add or remove or swaps that you've done. It labels it nice and pretty for you right there. And then all you got to do is click the little copy button. So you'll hear this called the signature or the transaction ID. It's two ways of saying the same thing, but this is what you're needing. You're going to need to know how to do this for graduation. Now, actually, let me just do a quick demo of that so that you guys can see what I'm talking about. Okay. Let's go here. Let's go out and let me copy my wallet address. Come on, don't be slow. There we go. All right. DeFi activities. Let's see one where I closed it. Here's one that I closed a day ago. Yesterday, launch coin. So I'm going to copy this right here. I can see this is where I removed it. I'm copying that. I'm going to hop over here to Metlex. Go to the P&L. Drop the transaction. Click the rocket to go. And it's going to turn away and do its thing. Okay. So I can see everywhere where I've deposited, where I claim fees, withdrawals, all of that. I'll see my profit and loss, and you can see this one, I only earned 0.4% profit, so that's a fail. But here is the Bootcamp checker. You'll see it's checking if you're using a third party, your initial deposit is at $100, your P&L, and the total amount of time. That's your Bootcamp checker. But you do all that and you get your nice little P&L card now. What I don't want you to do for that graduation form is submit a Metlex link. Please do not submit a Metlex link. The grader can't grade it. I'm not going to look at it. I'm not going to change it. I'm not going to look it up. You need your transaction. That's what you need to paste into the form. So I run into this and people are like, oh, I put in the wrong thing. I'm sorry. So please put in the transaction. But if you wanted to know how to check what you're doing, what you're looking at, this is what you're going to want to use. And of course, if you've got a nice W anytime, feel free to download this and show it to everybody in the Discord, post it on X, show your mom, show your date. Maybe it'll get you a date. Put it on Tinder, and let me know if that works. That will be cool. Someone asked, is Sol USDC allowed? Yes, it is. If you can manage to get 5% off of Sol USDC, then go for it. Do it. I would love to see it. People do it all the time, because it's not a stable pair. All right. USDC is stable, but it's the pair itself is not. So you don't need to open an Axiom account. Yes, it's free. If you're wanting to use Axiom to find tokens to LP with, yes, you can do that. That's got really nothing to do with as far as graduation goes, but that's up to you what to do. And I feel you here that you don't think that 1 hour is or that 1 hour is too long. Find something that's you can manage for an hour. Thousands and thousands and thousands of people have done this, so it's very doable. It's not unreasonable to be able to do. So you can do it. I believe in you. Okay, so now we move on because we are almost out of time. All right, so just really quick, talking about the dead community. It's just an extra sub-DAO. It's the original community formed on Meteora, the Dead LP Army. You can scan this if you want to join their Discord. It was started by a fractionalized NFT, the Dead token. It's available to purchase stake on Stake to Earn, but it's kind of a quiet community. So if you like that, but they also have a lot of cool art and NFTs that you can do. Check it out if you want to. It's just an extra community that you can join if you're into that. And then now we have time for any other questions. I will say that at the end, we will have a bootcamp stage in the LP Army Discord. We'll be there shortly right after we end this here to answer any questions. If you want to come up and ask a question in voice, you're welcome to, or you can ask your questions in chat. We'll have some instructors there to be able to answer those questions for you. But yeah, so I appreciate everybody coming out here today, joining us and listening to me chat and talk. Hopefully you learned something. Wish you all guys all the best of luck. You've got, again, until June 1st, 11:59 UTC, whatever time that is for you. Yeah, to get your both forms submitted, graduate. I wish you all the best of luck. I want to see more LP Army guys graduate. So that's it. If we have a few minutes that we can answer any questions right here. It's open. Nothing. Photon, you got anything you wanted to add, brother?
No, not really, bro. I think you always do an awesome job.
Yeah, well, maybe. If you
if we forgot anything, we're human.
What's that?
If we forgot anything, we're human.
Yeah, right. I'm curious if anybody was at Accelerate New York City. If you were, let us know in chat, man. If you came to our mini boot camp that we held in New York, I would love to know if you're here, or if you talk to me or somebody else. I'd love to know. Accelerate was a cool conference, man. Nope. Okay. All right. Well, I guess we'll go ahead and just end it early, give you guys a little bit of your time back. Like I said, we'll be over in the LP Army Discord on the boot camp stage here in just a few minutes to answer any questions you may have. Feel free to join us. Thanks again. We're going to end the stream with the song that I wrote about the dead LP Army. So once again, thank you, Photon. Thank you, everybody, for joining us, and y'all have a good one.
Explorer, fire in his eyes. Under the ice, he flies surprised. Long forgotten in the pools was more than gold or truth. A hidden power deep within. His journey is about to begin. To shatter the token he must, and form an army from the dust. Now called the Great Janitor, he has become only the handler. Facing the power inside, the dead army now arise. For this we are bred, to be the army of the dead. Forever it shall be said, I am dead, I am dead. We now spread, wearing the token of the dead. To Jupiter and beyond, the dead token is our bond. Forge ahead in the great blues, using the dead as our tools. For this we are bred, to be the army of the dead. Forever it shall be said, I am dead, I am dead, I am dead. Creating new images of power that echo till the final hour. We are the dead here and now, forever dead, this we avow. From the pieces the janitor shatters, the dead army is all that matters. For this we are bred, to be the army of the dead. Forever it shall be said, am dead. I am dead. I am dead. 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 For this we are burned.